during that week, although I do not recall the exact date, I contacted the minister via mobile to request an audience. I informed him of the importance of providing initial briefing regarding the establishment and activities of the PKTT. The minister indicated his willingness to schedule time for this discussion. Paragraph 120, at the same time, there were adverse media reports pertaining to crime intelligence. The minister subsequently called me to express his intention to appoint a senior counsel to investigate various issues highlighted by the media, including the appointment of Brigadier Lekhalanyane, Brigadier Mokwele, the security clearance of Lieutenant General Dimsani Khumalo, and the murder of Sindiso Magaqa. I assured him that detailed information on these topics was readily available to him, and reiterated my previous request to brief him comprehensively on matters of division, crime intelligence, and the PKTT. The minister agreed to attend a briefing on the afternoon of the 16th. So in short, what I'm explaining there is that these matters were that time in the media, and I asked him that, because he says he was concerned, he wanted to appoint a senior counsel to investigate these matters. What I said to him was, well, the information is yours and is available to you. If you choose to go and appoint a counsel to buy it, it's up to you, but it's readily available to you and you can get it for free. And he asked, does that include the Sindiso Magaqa's matter? I said, yes, indeed. It's one of those matters that we said we want to brief you on, because what you see in the media, you know more about what happened to Sindiso Magaqa. It is exactly because of the PKTT that investigated the matter. The matter happened long before Dimsani Khumalo joined crime intelligence. And when he joined, he unearthed this. He investigated, he arrested people on this. Currently, we know there are various witnesses that have been protected for this specific case. So it's a case that is unearthed by us. So you can't say, for example, you always hear out there that the firearm and the vehicle that killed Sindiso Magaqa was come from crime intelligence. Yes, indeed so, but the reason why you know that is because of the PKTT that investigated the matter. Most people think that this happened now during when General Dimsani Khumalo was in CI. It's false. No, it's not like that. Happened before him. Upon him assuming the duties as divisional commissioner, while he was at the PKTT, he investigated this matter and they unearthed it and they made arrest. Hence, there are some people. There is a hitman that has been convicted. The case is not yet finalized; it's still continuing. So, I told him that that's how these matters came to light. So, make time. Let's brief you, but it's for him. If he wants to get a counsel to investigate, it's up to him. On paragraph 121.
Sorry, before you get there, at the time when the minister called you, as you say in paragraph 120, in relation to the sequence of events, was this before the minister took a decision that the task team be disbanded immediately, or is this after the decision had already been taken?
Well, that time the decision was already taken. The letter or the directive was already issued 31st of January 2024. So these discussions were somewhere around 1450.
You mean December, General?
Oh, yeah, December 2024. Yes. And these discussions were somewhere in 15 January 2025.
So the Minister will tell the Commission if these facts that arose after the decision, after his letter, were relevant considerations that he took into account when he gave that directive. But let's leave that for the Minister to explain.
Thank you, Commissioner.
If you go to 121 then, are you about to deal with that?
On that day, Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo and I briefed the Minister with a thorough update on the aforementioned matters, as well as ongoing counterintelligence investigations, and reminded particularly within law enforcement and the criminal justice system. The report included identifying senior SAPS officers who were associated with criminal syndicates and or advancing or protecting interests of the Big Five within the law enforcement and criminal justice system.
Perhaps if we could stop there, because that should be sufficient for purposes of the issues that had been raised. We know you dealt with it also yesterday, but it introduces or deals with an issue that you thoroughly covered yesterday. So the purpose of referring you to those paragraphs, it was to deal with the interaction. If I can ask you then to turn to paragraph 129, where you start.
Maybe before that, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah, just to say, during that briefing, the PKTT the briefing wasn't done. It was just agreed. The Minister said, as you know, the report is due on the 20th, so we'll discuss it later in the future. So it wasn't discussed in that meeting of the 16th. Thank you, Commissioner.
So that's why you're saying to the Minister there in 121, I thought that's the point you had made. You reminded the Minister that a briefing on the PKTT should still be held.
Thanks, Com.
And you're saying it's because it didn't occur in that meeting of 16 January.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Yes, if I can then ask you to turn to paragraph 129. This is after you've referred to this report, SFM 11, and you set out your comments in relation thereto. So if I can ask you to start at 129.
The report set out in detail the success of the PKTT, its strength as well as the criticism level against it, which are unfounded. The report also highlights the PKTT successes such as successful arrests and or convictions of masterminds behind political matters. Importantly, the report highlights that the PKTT had undeniably achieved and far exceeded the purpose for which it was established, and that no other task team in South Africa had achieved the successes, nor has it been able to investigate and ensure successful prosecution of perpetrators of politically motivated matters, especially the masterminds.
Yes, you dealt with the significance of that strategy yesterday, and perhaps if I could just ask you, how does that differ with the ordinary conventional methods of investigating crimes, which is